Everybody, welcome back to what will be probably the next to last video that we'll have from the class because we're almost finished. There are a couple more things to get done, and that is mainly the final speech. Then there's some surveys. But what I want to do today is talk to you about the final speech and really do that by way of talking about what you just turned in, which was your persuasive outline and your PowerPoint. Um, to be honest with you, the outlines could be better. There was many, at least half, that did not use Monroe's motivated sequence. It wasn't, sort of a misunderstanding of it. It was just not using it. Like, here are three reasons why this is a good idea, or we should do that and not this. Which those are persuasive speeches, but remember, Monroe's is what we have to have for the class. And I think with your outline, you really need to go back when you get your feedback. Look at it, and go back and look at the videos that were on Monroe's motivated sequence. Go back and look at the demo where we made an outline with Monroe's motivated sequence. There's an outline. That physical copy, the Word document, is on the Blackboard site. There's a lot of resources out there that I don't know, I don't get names like this is who's accessed this and this is who hasn't, but I see numbers, and they're not being accessed as they should be. So I was thinking as I was grading and giving feedback, man, maybe I'm doing something wrong here. And then I went and looked at the numbers, and I see that the resources aren't being used much, and I think that is the problem. So before you give this final speech and record it and submit it, do a couple things. One, go and read your feedback specifically that you should have in the email from me today if you submitted something. Two, go back if you haven't and watch the video on Monroe's motivated sequence, persuasive speaking. Look at the outline template that we completed. So I guess it's the example that we completed, and make sure that you understand that, and then see if learning from those things makes your feedback make more sense to you. Then, of course, go to the speech lab. If you've already been for the persuasive speech, that's fine. And I think for the handful of folks that have already been, you all did fine. If there may be one or two exceptions, but the majority of you haven't been, and you need to go. You have to go for the grade, and I don't want you to miss these points. I mean, we've got one real assignment left, and that is your final speech. So get the points. Make sure that you're helping yourself as much as possible, because every semester, and I mean it's not just you, it's every semester. When the end of the semester rolls around, people want to know what can they do for extra credit and this and that. And I told you at the beginning, the only extra credit is going to the speech lab multiple times. So if you find yourself in a tough spot grade wise, make sure that you're hitting them up and taking advantage of that. There's not a limit, so go see them, and that will also just help you perform better. So it's a win-win for the final speech. Um, all right, so again, look at your feedback. The PowerPoints weren't that bad. I mean, they were pretty decent. Now, if you didn't use Monroe's in your outline, you probably didn't use it in your PowerPoint either. However, in terms of design and appearance, that whole thing, the PowerPoints were manageable. So um, that should take less time. It's just making those revisions. So, all right, if you have questions on that for your specific feedback, your specific outline, let me know, and we can handle those. Also, know that I'm happy to meet with you before you turn in that final speech. Whether that's, well, at this point it'd be next week, but we can definitely talk on here and figure out what you need to do and where you're at. So next is the final week, and so the next week is a short week. Remember that it's over on Wednesday, so your speech is not due on Thursday because the final day for the course is Wednesday, so it's due Wednesday by midnight. Um, for that one, go back and look at the persuasive speech requirements. The 5 to 7 minutes. There are 4 sources, 2 peer-reviewed sources that are going to be required, and then of course use that feedback from that outline. If you want to send me an outline that you have revised, I'm happy to look at that for you. It won't affect your grade at this point, but I'm happy to give you some feedback on that to see if you're making the right adjustments. The other thing for next week is your surveys. Make sure that you do those again. It's the same ones you did at the very beginning of the semester, if you remember that, where you just highlighted your selections. So it was the empowerment scale and then the PRCA 24 for apprehension. One question that I've had a couple times already this week in the last couple days is, how do I want you all to deliver your persuasive speech so that you can see you and your PowerPoint? You have a couple options. So one option, sort of, I guess, the more mechanical, cut and dry way to do it, would be for you to use your phone to record yourself and then have your computer sitting beside you with the PowerPoint on it and give the presentation like that. I mean, that's the kind of the easiest way to do it. I mean, I'm sure if you have some background in film or whatnot, you might come up with a more creative way to do it. I know you could put like one camera on the screen and then one camera on you, and then you could link those together and it show up, up in the corner like a YouTube video. That's not required, but that's the easiest way to do it, is to have the physical PowerPoint on a screen. Here you're holding your computer maybe, and then you're clicking. Now, again, try not to hold it because that's going to not allow you to gesture. But think about how you want to set that up. The other way you could do it would be to screen record your entire screen. And so you could open Zoom like this if you wanted and bring it over. Let me see. Let me grab PowerPoint and let's try to do this. That would work. Now, you can't go full screen, obviously, over here. And I don't even think you can do this, but we're going to try. Yeah, that won't work. So, what you could do is take this, slide it over out of the way, and deliver it like this. And if you just click over on that area, the PowerPoint area, now you're here. I can see you gesture, and then as you go through, you can just push the up and down arrows and change your slide. And so you're talking to us, you're doing this. Meanwhile, the screen recording is happening for everything on your screen, so now we get the best of both worlds. So that is the other option that I think is probably the easiest. Now, I have a Mac. If you have a Mac, this is real simple. You saw me just set it up, and then the only thing you need to do otherwise is search at the top up here for QuickTime. That should be on your Mac, and start the recording. If you do not have a Mac, if you're on a PC platform, there are apps that you can download or third-party programs that do a pretty good job with this. I'm not familiar with the exact names, but they're out there. You could probably Google, Windows screen recording and get something decent. So those are the two easiest options that you have. If neither one of those work for you, let me know, and we can try to figure something else out. But really, that should work pretty well. Get rid of this one. All right. So, big things. Make sure that you're editing your outline and your PowerPoint as needed based on your comments, your feedback. Second thing, if you haven't already, go back and watch the information, the videos on persuasive speaking, Monroe's motivated sequence, excuse me, and the demo of creating the outline, and maybe even the demo of creating the PowerPoint. There was a couple folks who didn't follow the template, so you may want to go back and review that. If you don't, some folks they seem surprised that we have such a thing. Let me jump out one more time here. And So if I go to Documents and I scroll down, you will see PowerPoints. There's the pretest too if you want, though. That's the information. So if I go to PowerPoints, I'm going to have the template for the final speech right there at the bottom. So that's where that template is. Also, if you want to look at content videos, there are all the links to everything we've done. You've got the PowerPoint demo. You've got the demo for making a Monroe's motivated sequence outline. Here's the stuff on that. Here's the stuff on persuasion. So don't forget this stuff. But if you need to, go back and watch that. Maybe even if you've already seen it, go back and review and refresh. That way you get as current as you can and try to do the best you can so you get the most points. Other than that, remember that next week's a short week and everything is due on Wednesday. Also, a reminder: you have a course evaluation up. So if you want to fill that out, feel free. And I think that's it for now. So if you have questions over the weekend, send them to me. I may, if it's something immediate and like it's about your speech, I'll go ahead and respond to that as soon as I'm able to. If it is a general question, I'll try to compile those and wait until Monday and put out another bigger message. But otherwise, just shoot me an email. Let me know what your questions are, your concerns are, and we'll try to make a plan and get you on the right track because, it's coming to an end quickly. So we want to make sure that we're doing as best we can. All right. Let me know if you need me. Otherwise, have a good weekend, and I will talk to you next time.